90 minutes of Trump, it's 100 days of action. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, as you saw tonight, Donald Trump's been playing offense to make America great again since he first came down that golden escalator. And tonight, 100 days in, he's still fighting.
We're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people. This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in. We're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country, getting woke lunacy and transgender insanity the hell out of our government. We're stopping the indoctrination of our children, slashing billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And above all, we're saving the American dream. We're making America great again, and it's happening fast, too. What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense.
Oh, I love that. A fired-up crowd in Michigan, and what Trump billed as something that shouldn't be a revolution, but it is in today's Washington, a revolution of common sense.
You finally have a president who is defending our borders and our nation. Dr. Oz. After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first.
How great is that? I mean, how many presidents have ever said this, except Trump? You know, they destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing. That's just a great one-liner. So it's one-liner after one-liner, and then a few golden oldies.
After a lifetime of unelected bureaucrats stealing your paychecks, attacking your values, and trampling your freedoms, we are stopping their gravy train, ending their power trip, and telling thousands of corrupt, incompetent, and unnecessary deep state bureaucrats, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here.
He's never going to get tired of saying that, even if the courts try to prevent him. But also what was amazing is earlier in the day, Gretchen Whitmer was called up by President Trump at a local military base. She couldn't have, he had to come up and say a few words. She didn't want to, clearly, but she was stuck. And by the way, she was without her folder mask. All right. And I have even more good news, if that's possible. Liberals see what Trump's done. They're fuming.
It's been 100 days of destruction. You think we can survive 550 more?
This president has already, only 100 days in, failed our country.
First 100 days, the Trump administration have been characterized by chaos, cruelty, and corruption.
Is anyone shocked by this? Why should you be? It's rinse and repeat, sometimes almost word for word from 2017.
His first 100 days have been really characterized by chaos, crisis, and confusion.
We give him failing grades. Promise after promise to working people has been broken.
100 days of broken promises to working people. 100 days of handouts to the wealthiest people.
These people, they're just simply out of gas. They're out of ideas. But look at Trump, his top advisors, his supporters. Over the past 100 days, they've worked hard and had fun. Isn't that the pursuit of happiness? Fun pushing his agenda.
Is there pain in the market at some point you're unwilling to tolerate?
I think your question is so stupid.
If you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal.
Got this big, beautiful area where employees are supposed to work. Nobody's here.
It's tough, though. We don't have a white crayon. What am I going to do? Leave it wet, I guess.
No, there's nothing that progressives hate more. And when I say hate, they loathe when conservatives are enjoying themselves. So let's tick off liberals by ticking off Trump's early accomplishments.
Democrats have vowed mass invasion, and mass migration. We are delivering mass deportation, and it's happening very fast.
The executive orders on the border, DOGE, the shrinking of the bureaucracy talked about tonight, ending DEI, beginning to fix our terrible trade posture, opening more areas for energy exploration, and then striking a blow against on-campus anti-Semitism. It's a lot. He's toppled, or exposed at least, every left-wing sacred cow and pushed for real changes in failed establishment policy. Now, of course, this means that the old D.C. dinosaurs and the rogue resistance, they're going to try to stop him. But Trump's not fazed, and he's certainly not flinching.
We cannot allow a handful of communist radical left judges to obstruct the enforcement of our laws and assume the duties that belong solely to the President of the United States. Judges are trying to take away the power given to the President to keep our country safe, and it's not a good thing. But I hope for the sake of our country that the Supreme Court is going to save this, because we have to do something.
Well, we'll know soon. But on January 20th, let's not forget, Donald Trump inherited a country that, because of Biden and his policies, was on an unsustainable path. Biden did incalculable damage. We were overrun with illegals, our military recruitment was way down, and we were overcommitted around the world. And of course, we didn't have anywhere near the industrial base to support those commitments. So when Biden shuffled out of town, I dare say we were closer to becoming a superpower in name only. So Trump knew that if we continue down this path, we'd seal our fate as a paper tiger. So he moved fast, tackling more of the big issues at any one time than any president in recent memory. Trump understands that first and foremost, America must be in a position to fulfill the most basic promises to our own people. Decent jobs, good schools, safe cities. Those all seemed increasingly out of reach over the last 4 years. And now the $36 trillion debt bomb, ballooning interest payments, Trump knows our financial survival is at risk. But Biden's strategy, frankly, the entire Democrat Party strategy, was to borrow, spend, and print more money. It was classic Washington. So at this 100-day mark, the media, they're trying to paint Trump like the tariff man, who's like the Grinch who's stealing Christmas. How silly. The New York Times is a big piece today. There's no toys at Christmas time. Well, were there toys before 2000 when China joined the WTO? I had toys under my tree. The real Grinches are the politicians who year after year kept America on a trajectory of denial and decline. They got us into stupid wars. They blew trillions of dollars. They allowed the cartels an open door to kill our kids with fentanyl. And they allowed our factories to close. They created massive trade deficits. And as Trump said tonight, that essentially funded the Chinese military expansion that now threatens the entire globe. Those are the Grinches. But Trump, he's the only president with the guts who's tried to solve the problems that 4 prior presidents created with Congress. And never forget, his most vocal critics, they just go along with whatever makes the Beltway establishment happy. And while that was good for the lobbyists, they got really rich, it's good for the lawyers, ditto, it was horrid for the working people of states like Michigan, across the old Rust Belt. The more blowback Trump gets in this period of time, the more I think he's on the right path. A lot of you wonder, why do Trump's supporters, a lot of liberals especially, say, why are they so loyal to him? Why do they remain so committed to him? Simple answer. You saw it tonight. Because they know that he's loyal to them. So despite all the pressure to sell him out, they know he's doing this, everything he's doing for the right reasons. And it's not to be popular with the Council on Foreign Relations or the China lobby or the hedge funders or the teachers' unions. In the end, they'll all still be rich. They'll be fine. But America will be stronger, our manufacturing more robust, our military more lethal, and our people healthier. Now that's a superpower with superpowers. So I can't wait for the next 100 days. That's the angle.
Donald Trump celebrating the first 100 days of his second term in Detroit, Michigan. He just left the stage moments ago.
We just had the biggest victory in Michigan. They said, sir, it's going to be hard. Well, we won it twice. We're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people. This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in.
Trump says he's having fun running the world, and you can just see it.
How are you? There we go. How's it going? If there was one big thing you really wanted to have happen in the first 100 days, but didn't, what would it be?
Well, I think either we've done everything or it's in the process of being done.
He said he wouldn't trade places with anyone in the world. Well, except maybe one.
As Pope? Yeah. I'd like to be Pope. That would be my #1 choice.
Before his big speech in Detroit, Trump stopped by a military base in Michigan to celebrate with the troops, and he didn't come empty-handed.
Today I've come in person to lay to rest any doubts about Selfridge's future and the vital role it'll play in our national defense. As Commander-in-Chief, I'm proud to announce that very soon we will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets, the best in the world, fresh off the line.
Nothing says happy 100 days like new fighter jets. And there was one special guest in the room who was ready to party. And she was from the other party, Big Gretch.
I want to thank Governor Gretchen Whitmer for bringing it also to our attention very strongly. And, you know, I'm not supposed to do that. She's a Democrat. They say, don't do that. Don't have her here. I said, no, she's going to be here. She's done a very good job, frankly. So I want to thank you very much, Gretchen. Good job.
Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan, I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. Thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
Good for Gretch. She didn't hide her face behind the folder like last time. Trump 2.0 is different. Bill Maher's breaking bread. Morning Joe did a pilgrimage. Saquon's golfing. And Big Gretch cured her TDS. Even the Washington Post gives him credit. Quote, since FDR's earth-shaking first 100 days in office, no president has matched the sheer drama and disruption of this 15-week sprint, at least until now. In 100 days, we've seen $160 billion doged, useless agencies shuttered, DEI terminated, inflation's down, but nothing's more down than border crossings, down 99.9%. Which is your favorite?
Out of the last 100 days, what is the #1 thing that you think President Trump and his team have done?
Secured that border.
Our border.
The border.
Immigration law, baby.
After complaining about the bad hombre mugshots on the White House lawn, MSNBC is being forced into the field to talk to people, and the people say Trump's killing it.
I am totally excited. Everybody I know is excited. My biggest issue is at the border, and he's killing it. Well, absolutely, everybody that's here illegally should go. I'm not one of these that, oh, the poor person. No, they need to go.
There's so much action on illegal immigration, Democrats can't deny it. Here's Stephen A.
The fact that Trump rolled up in there and cleaned this stuff up, prioritizing border control, definitely is going to be perceived as a plus, whether Democrats and others like it or not.
Border Patrol has been outstanding. The economy, the nation's other top priority, still unfinished business. On the plus side, American industry is making a comeback.
We're taking back our country from a sick political class that got rich selling America out and bleeding America dry. After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first.
Manufacturing jobs are back, and $5 trillion private money is being invested in American steel, energy, tech, pharma, autos, and AI. But the market took a little bit of a hit on the trade war. The president said we had to take our medicine and wait for the tax and regulation cuts to get on track this summer. Hopefully that'll steady the ship. The president's confident that it will. The media are panicking.
It's officially been 100 days of Donald Trump. I'm so tired. It's aging this nation in Tom Hanks' Castaway years. Tonight we're kicking off a week-long coverage of Donald Trump's first 100. Let's call them days.
Overseas, the Panama Canal's been secured. The Houthi rebels are under fire, and Greenland's on the menu. The Ukraine war is still raging, and Trump's growing a little frustrated with Putin. So the next 100 days are all about deals.
I think what we've really done here is deals. We've worked on deals. There's a peace deal, there's a trade deal, there's a tax deal, and the first 100 days has set the table, and I think the next 100 days we're going to see the fruition of all those. Insiders
say Trump's in his disruption phase right now. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich says, I believe he has from now to about January 1st to be very disruptive. After that, Trump needs to be stabilizing, pulling together, and explaining. Voters say it's not that scary compared to the last 4 years.
Are you prepared to pay higher prices for goods?
I've been paying higher prices, sweetie, in the last. When Biden got in office, my groceries have doubled, my gas has doubled. No, I'm already used to it.
No one said it would be easy. Trump's taking on issues that his predecessors never tackled and let fester. Trade, border, war. Trump's not running for re-election, we think. So this isn't about politics. It's about putting America in a strong position to thrive in the 21st century.
You said, quote, hang tough. Yeah. It won't be easy. You said that to the American people. Is that what Americans should expect, some hard times?
I've said that during my campaign. Look, we won a campaign by a lot. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. I said, you're going to have a transition period. We've been ripped off by every country all over the world. They're laughing at us. They thought we were stupid people, and we were. And I said, that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen.
Hard times are ahead?
I don't think so. I think great times are ahead. Look, since I came in, gasoline is down, groceries are down, egg prices are down.
The American people voted for complete upheaval in Washington. And if anything, Trump delivered that. Sometimes you have to demolish a building before rebuilding it into a skyscraper. How fast and how effective Trump can rebuild what he's demolished will determine his legacy. But Democrats, if they take back power in 2 years, they won't let him. They just filed articles of impeachment.
Some guy that I'd never heard of. John James, is he a congressman, this guy? He said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me. This lunatic. Actually, I had the television way down, and I said to our great First Lady, listen, did I just hear I was being impeached again? We're getting good at this, though. And then you have the other one that's always with the cane. He's always impeaching, and he raises his cane.
So far, Trump's support from Republicans, rock solid. His voters are along for the ride, and they're loving it.
I think the first 100 days has been a breath of fresh air. I think that everybody's been waiting for change, no matter what party you are. Right. I feel that the change is undeniable. And so this is the first 100 days. I can't wait to see what the first 1,000 days.
100 days of history is in the books, 100 days of political shock and awe. President Trump fulfilling his campaign promises, implementing the Make America Great Again agenda at a record pace, all while battling the Washington, D.C. establishment, the institutionalists, better known as the swamp, the legacy media mob at the same time, pathetic Democrats, that party, every step of the way. And tonight, the president was in Michigan for a massive rally commemorating the start of what he's calling a new golden age for America and for all Americans. Take a look.
We're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country. And week by week, we're ending illegal immigration. We're taking back our jobs and protecting our great American auto workers and all of our workers, frankly. We're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country, getting woke lunacy and transgender insanity the hell out of our government. We're stopping the indoctrination of our children, slashing billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And above all, we're saving the American dream. We're making America great again, and it's happening fast, too. What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is, really. We're conservative. You're conservative, you're liberal, whatever the hell. You know what it's all about? It's about common sense when you think about it. We're for common sense. We've set all-time records for the lowest number of illegal border crossings ever recorded. Think of that, ever recorded. I'm proud to be the president for the workers and not the outsourcers, the president who stands up for Main Street, not Wall Street. Our golden age has only just begun. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender. We will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win.
All right, let's be clear. We can spend all night doing something the state-run legacy media mob would never do, and that's list the actual accomplishments from Donald Trump's first 100 days. The president said it best. If Democrats had their way, America, as we know it, would be over. We'd be a third world hellhole. Open borders. That means more terrorists, more gang members, murderers, rapists, cartel members, and probably all likely on a path to citizenship. America would decline into default and bankruptcy, and since the Trump-hating legacy media mob will never bring you facts, we're going to highlight the sheer difference between Democrats and Donald Trump's historic 100-day record of success. Take a look at your screen. In just this short period of time, the president slashed a record number of regulations. He's making his middle-class tax cuts permanent. He declared a national energy emergency. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. By the way, that includes offshore drilling on the energy issue, drilling in the Gulf of America, where just this week the administration celebrated the first production from a major new venture just off the coast of Louisiana and Mississippi. President Trump has also pulled the United States from the job-killing, cost-ineffective, idiotic Paris Accords. He ended Biden's liquefied natural gas export ban. Now the cost of energy is down significantly. The cost of gas is down. Mortgage rates are going down. And to top it all off, Doge, that's right, those horrible people, they have already saved you, the American taxpayer, over $160 billion in waste, fraud, abuse, and corruption, and they are still counting. Meanwhile, 26 American hostages have been brought home. The Houthi rebels are getting pounded. Iran is getting squeezed financially, and they better make a deal or they will regret it. Peace between Russia and Ukraine is finally, at least it's within reach, and for once a real possibility. Not a single U.S. service member has been killed overseas. And by the way, Donald Trump is finally holding China accountable while negotiating better trade deals with every country in the world, while getting the U.S. out of the corrupt World Health Organization and slashing USAID. We could go on, and we still haven't even mentioned the border, probably his greatest success in 100 days. Think about it. In less than 100 days, Donald Trump made good on his biggest campaign promise. Joe Biden, well, said it couldn't be done. He needed legislation. He was wrong, as usual. Under Trump, the border is not just secure, it is the most secure border in American history. Take a look at these numbers from the DHS. Daily border encounters are down a whopping 93%. Encounters with gotaways down 95%. The migrant crossings are down 99%. We went from 160,000 ICE encounters per month under Biden to around 7,000 under Trump, with almost zero released into the country. And meanwhile, the deportation numbers continue to grow. And according to ICE, they have deported over 65,000 illegal aliens in Trump's first 100 days, they've arrested another 66,000 illegals, most of which have criminal charges or convictions, including nearly 500 for murder, 1,300 for sex offenses, and 2,300 gang members. These dangerous offenders were roaming around your country thanks to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas, and now they're getting deported thanks to President Trump. As the president said, it's about promises made and promises kept. Now, keep in mind, President Trump is doing all of this amid nonstop, unrelenting, negative coverage from a corrupt, broken, state-run legacy media mob. Take a look at this study, Media Research Center. Despite everything that Donald Trump has done, their coverage is still a whopping 92% negative, only 7.8% positive in his first 100 days. We'll have a lot more on this petty behavior from the left.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That means some of you will live. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So Kamala Harris is speaking in San Francisco tomorrow, and she's charging $25 for anyone who wants to live stream it. And if you don't have $25, she'll also accept alternate forms of payment. So why is this being live streamed? It's a good question. Well, it's to allow women to watch from home instead of leaving their husbands alone with the help. President Trump said he's bringing back Columbus Day after Joe Biden renamed the holiday Indigenous Peoples Day. And surprise, one Native American leader now claims she's part Italian. Oh, now they laugh. Luigi. Actor Terrence Howard says he turned down the role of singer Marvin Gaye because he couldn't kiss a man. It's the same reason he won't play Barack Obama. Meanwhile, former First Lady Michelle Obama says Trump's deportation policy keeps her up at night. I get it. You'd be worried, too, if your husband's from Kenya. Wow. J.B. Pritzker is now calling for mass protests and disruption, vowing that Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. Well, now we'll know how his toilet feels. A psychiatrist is willing to testify that Sean Diddy Combs did not have the mental capacity to commit crimes. The psychiatrist will do this by pointing to his music. Finally, the tennis world is up in arms after a new rule stipulates that chaperones must watch players shower after matches to make sure they don't evade drug tests. Meanwhile, guess who has applied for the job as chaperone? So today marks Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. Fair enough. But in reality, 100 is an arbitrary number, kind of like the age of consent for Hunter Biden or Kamala's blood alcohol content. But with Trump, 100 feels like 1,000. So many moves, and many are big. This March saw the lowest monthly number of border encounters on record. Violent illegals who roamed the streets under Biden are being removed at record speed. Only 9 illegals have been discharged into the country, but they were released into the audience for Fox and Friends and quickly self-deported. Trump downsized federal government with DOGE, saving $160 billion in the process. It's far from enough, but at this rate, $1.6 billion a day, we might avoid economic ruin. He crushed DEI, took men out of women's sports, returned plastic straws to our waiting mouths, unleashed domestic energy production, and made showers great again. Not that some Democrats actually use them.
Damn.
But when Trump says he'll do something, he does it at breakneck speed. How do you explain this? Well, all Trump did is match the pace of politics to the accelerating change of technology. And Trump 2.0 is changing the speed of politics. So much so, it's like replacing a carrier pigeon with a 5G iPhone. Or replacing Jesse Waters with someone who had their GED. So as policies move faster than a prune Danish through Joe Biden's digestive tract, other things will take time, like tariffs. But where's the media's hysterics now that the stock market's returned to near normal in mere days? I get it, because while Trump's rolling, Dems are polling at record lows, coming in just above poison ivy and just below anal fissures. So they resort to aping the past with no solutions for the future. On Sunday, Dem leaders sat on the Capitol steps spewing verbal diarrhea for 12 hours. They were so sad even pigeons wouldn't on them. Cory Booker emphasized moral urgency. Well, if it's so urgent, Cory, why are you the one killing the most time? I've seen homeless guys get more crap done. On one hand, he tells us the sky's falling. On the other, he's seeing how long he can go without peeing. But today, Dems are too impaired by anger and self-driven theatrics to see clearly. They're chasing the romance of resistance, embracing losing issues like the Maryland dad, as if Ward Cleaver also punched June in the face. No wonder the corrupt media, our neutral observers, have hit Trump with a 92% negative coverage. So what's going on here? Well, Trump's revealed the true battle. It's between the ins and the outs, the self-obsessed versus the selfless. Every morning, Trump wakes up to life as an adventure. What can I do today? What dragon can I slay? Meanwhile, the aging Dems still cling to identity politics. They've become consumed by the self and left the world behind. Trump, however, has no time for who he is. It's what he does that matters. He's productive, not resentful. The future is his. The past is dead. Modern leftism is the reverse. It no longer seeks meaning in the outside world. It's now who you are, not what you do, which leads to nothing but disaster. Look at the border, crime, biology. The obsession with self replaced the pursuit of solutions. Meanwhile, the solution to the Dems' problem is right in front of them. It's Trump. He's showing you the way forward, and it is forward. You need to stop looking backward, obsessing over past oppressions while mimicking dead radicals. You need to look up and out. There's a world out there that dwarfs whatever you think your pronoun is. Right now, the Dems are looking backward and inward. No future, no adventure, just the past and the sad self. So today serves as a moment of reflection. 100 days can be a transformative period, but only if you're tired of living in the past and living in your own head. Let's welcome staring at his suit may cause seizures. Host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Page. He's the reason that laws have women's names in them. Host of the Jim Norton Can't Save You podcast, Jim Norton. Caffeine takes her to stay awake. Co-host of Outnumbered, Emily Campagno. And he makes The Rock look like a pebble. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion. Charles, you put the pain in pain with that window pane suit.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to scrub you clean right now. How would you grade? I hate this whole concept of the 100 days. It just feels like a media creation, but we have to talk about it. What's your grade? How's the economy?
The economy is great.
Yeah.
Here's the most amazing thing. This is the most. There's never been a fear campaign to this degree ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. The stats blow me away. There have been more negative stories about Trump than COVID.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I believe you.
The media has scared the hell out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple hours ago, Visa reported earnings and said consumers are doing great. They're not the only company that said that. On Wall Street, there's a thing called soft data and hard data. The soft data is all the surveys when you scare the hell out of people. And it's so funny, like, tariffs are going to destroy you. What are you worried about right now? Tariffs? Oh, wow. I mean, they feign like, oh, look at the public. No, it is really absolutely amazing. I was shocked when you said 8% have positive stories. Like, who are these people? Because they're probably going to be fired. There's nothing he can do that will get positive coverage. But I'm telling you right now, I think they're setting themselves up for a big trap.
Yeah.
The stock market, all the things that they feign to care about these days, because before the stock market never mattered. It was just for rich folks.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, it's hurting. I've had friends who called me up. I know they're not in no damn stock market. Stop bull. Me. Like, hey, Charlie, what's your boy doing with the market? I said, why do you care? I'm down. Get the out. I know you 30 years. Yeah. You never asked me about the market once. Get the out of here. Get out of here.
Jim, I fulfilled your dream. I sandwiched you between two large black men. What you do with that dream is entirely up to you.
I'm going to say wake up.
And then I'm going to say run.
Yeah. Well, this could just as easily be your dream, Charles, between me and Greg.
So
when I was on drugs.
So, Jim, 100 days. You're an astute political observer. Isn't this unlike any first 100 days ever?
Well, except for the length of time. It is interesting to watch. Like, I like certain things he's done, certain things I don't like. But I like Doge. Like, I like that they saved. They said it comes to like $1,000 per, or as I call it, 2.5 escorts per person. I like Doge. I like a lot of the stuff. I like that he's kicking out people who don't belong here because they're not here legally. But I don't like certain things, like I don't like the birthright citizenship thing. I don't think you can't, you know, whether you like it or not, it's the 14th Amendment. And I also don't like that Maryland guy, who I do think belongs out of the country. They still have to bring him back and do it right and then kick him out, because immigration demands you do paperwork and everything 100%.
Did they do that, though? There was a couple of, I mean, I think you and I are probably going to agree. It's an administrative process, not really a legal one. And I'm sure he was before 2 judges. What more do you want?
They both said they have to bring him back, though. Like the federal court, I think the Supreme Court, both said, and Trump has to be careful. You can't start bucking courts, because they understand. Liberal courts and conservative courts have more in common than conservative courts do with him. It's like 2 divorce lawyers. You know what I mean? The husband and the wife's lawyers connect with each other a lot more than they connect with the husband and the wife.
That is so interesting.
So I think that he should be careful with that and just get the guy out of the country, but do it by the book.
I think they should bring him back, but make it 2 trips. I don't know what that means.
By the way, he doesn't want to play Barack Obama joke. I'm going to laugh about that for 2 weeks. God, that was a good joke.
Thank you. Emily, do you think it helps? Well, here's a question. Have the Democrats done anything in 100 days? I can't think of anything other than whine and sing horribly.
Yes, the 100 days to the Democrats is like a complete fiction of the rest of our 100 days. So let's take the example that you just talked about, where you talked about an administrative error that needs to sort of correct someone's process, and I assume you are meaning due process. But this person was someone who was already deported and then came back against he was a recidivist, illegal enterer in the country. And what I don't understand is the sort of wiping the slate clean that the Dems do when they are blurring out the signs on the White House and levying this guy, lifting him up as the Maryland father. I don't quite understand why it's as if their memory has only started from like 2 seconds in, so the conversation is just administrative. But the point was that this guy was a wife-beating, violent, gang-affiliated asshole that kept coming into our country multiple times. Like, it should have stopped then. But here's the point about the 100 days. So we know that there's 92% illegal or negative coverage of the president. 100% negative coverage, by the way, of some of his administrative, other people in the administration, like the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
What is that? But if you dig into that, it was the lion's share of coverage was about Trump. So only a small portion was Biden, mostly positive, vast majority all Trump, totally negative. But here are the stats that matter. 96% of Trump voters are glad they did. They know it was the right thing to do. 86% know that his economic policies will make us stronger. Half of those say, yep, it's going to be a little rocky, the rocky part we went through, but we know it's going to make us stronger. So the media to the left, hair on fire, their 100 days is everything is blowing up. We tried constitutional crisis. We tried everything. Now we're going to try impeachment since the lawfare didn't work, since illegal voting didn't work. That's where they are now. But the rest of the Americans are glad they are on this ship that has finally been righted thanks to President Trump.
Tyrus, finish us off, and in a completely innocent way.
Yes, I assume so. The sandwich didn't really work out, so we're going to
Listen, desperate times demand desperate measures.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree that the Maryland father should get his day in court. Unfortunately, we had the doors of our country ripped wide open, and some of the world's worst villains and perpetrators are walking amongst us. So I think we arrest as many as we can. We kick them out. We move them out of the country. And just like we do here, we'll give them a piece of paper with a court date on it.
Mm-hmm.
And once they're all where they need to be, they'll have their little paper with their court date. And in 10 to 12 decades, we'll bring you back for your court date, just like they do
when they're here.
So yes.
Why do you come up with this? No, it's a great idea.
So yeah,
it's a great idea.
So we just mirror what they said. Democrats, you have a great idea. We're going to round them all up. El Salvador is a willing tax-free participant to hold said individuals. We will give them their paperwork and then tell them their court date is going to be in, and we'll get you there as soon as you.
Exactly what happens when they come here, and you're doing it back to them. It's perfect. I'm going to steal that for my next book.
Yeah. I was wondering, they're getting a little, dusty up here, the books, man. You're a little overdue.
All right, Charles, enough out of you. All right, up next, a football star gets punked.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.